I never give a shout out to the person who does these instrumentals. So shout out to Vibin on YouTube. Check it out if you like these types of instrumentals and vibes like this. What's good, combat sports fans? You already know it's your boy Bando, back at it with another episode of Combat and Kick It. I am here to break down Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk 2. It's a major fight. I have to come through and talk about it. We had the undisputed matchup back in May, and it was a controversial matchup for some. And you know, I just got to come through and break down the undisputed matchup one more time. We're back at it again, so let's get into it. Let's go. So like I said, we're back at it again to break down Fury versus Alexander Usyk. This is the second time we are getting this matchup. It's a great matchup because you truly got the two best heavyweights in the world facing off with each other. Now, what do I think is going to happen in this matchup? I don't know yet. As we get closer, I feel like I keep slightly changing what my opinion is, how I feel about the fight. You know, when you go back and you watch the first fight, there's a few things to pay attention to in the first fight. It's the way that Usyk never slows down, never gives up, right? Even when he seemed like that one round, I want to say was in around 4 to 6, somewhere in that area. You know, he started losing a little bit. But then ended up coming back. He makes the adjustments. And that's the main thing people need to keep in mind is the adjustments that Usyk makes. Usyk's not in there playing any games. You know, Fury's also not, he's not just in there boxing, but he's also playing the mind games as much as he possibly can. He's trying to get you on both ways. He's trying to outbox you and mentally frustrate you. So he's trying to get you completely frustrated in there from all aspects of the fight game. And he usually succeeds. Most guys that he has done this against, he has succeeded with. But Alexander Usyk is not the guy. He cannot get past Usyk with that mind game stuff. He has to come into this fight with one thing on his mind, and that's a finish. If you're not coming into this fight with the mindset of getting a finish, you are going to get finished. I think Usyk is looking for a different type of fight. I think Usyk is going to be looking for the finish, knowing that he could hurt Fury, knowing that he could wobble Fury, knowing that he could do anything to Fury. I can most definitely see him working and pushing for the finish. So Fury has to be smart, but also cannot get too cocky, cannot be overconfident, and do not try to play the mind games with somebody who you cannot get into his head. As simple as that. You cannot play the mind games with somebody like that. So you have to stay calm. You have to stay, you know, in your bag. Mindset on getting in there, getting the job done, and knocking them out. Now, from most of the interviews and everything like that with Fury, it seems like that's what he's on. It seems like his mentality is come in, get the finish, get out, and I guarantee you there will be a third fight. If not, I can see either way, possibly Tyson Fury, you know, retiring after this fight. I know a lot of people might not agree with that, but it's a very big possibility, especially if he loses this fight. You're starting to see things change. You know, Wilder was on top, Joshua was on top, Fury was on top, and they all fell in 2024. So maybe the rebirth happens at the end of 2024 going into 2025 for Tyson Fury, but he needs this win badly. Badly. It's crazy to say that Usyk can afford a loss. Fury cannot. So then you sit back and you talk about keys to victory for both of these guys. For me, in my opinion, Fury has to come into this fight and try to utilize his weight advantage, his height, his reach, everything much more than he did in the first fight. It seemed like he wanted to try to rope-a-dope him and play around a little bit, and he couldn't. You know, every time he tried to, Usyk was able to land a shot. Usyk is accurate and does not waste punches. So you can't play around with him too much. He's not going to waste the punches. He's not going to chase. So I think Fury has to come in, get on that style of throwing the 1-2, you know, throwing the heavy 1-2 and bringing all the weight on top of him. And keep trying to do that. Bring the weight all the way on top of him. Force him to hold your weight. You know, I don't see him being able to tire him out or anything like that, but it does help. It definitely benefits. You know, work the jab, try to keep distance, try to utilize the fact that you're way bigger than him, way longer than him. You know, you got to utilize that in different ways. Yes, you are a slick boxer, very defensive boxer. We've seen him, you know, rope-a-dope a lot of different guys, put him in the corner, and they could not hit him. But this is a different matchup. This is a different style, a different guy that you cannot play those games with. And we saw that. We saw that in the first fight. I mean, Fury got wobbled so bad that I looked at it and said, wow, I'm shocked they didn't finish this fight, because I've seen fights finished for much less. You know what I mean? The big heavyweight guys, especially too. A lot of refs would have stopped that fight, and they didn't. They let it keep going, and respectfully so, because you kind of know Tyson Fury's history when it comes to getting hurt. But Usyk knows he can rock him. Usyk knows he can wobble him. If the chin is anywhere open, Usyk gets to it. So Fury's got to be smart, slightly evasive, not his typical defensive self where he's trying to rope-a-dope. He's got to just make it all natural, kind of like he did, you know, to Wilder in the third fight. That's the Fury that we need for this one. That same Fury that was there for Wilder in the third fight has to come through in this one, right? Now, Fury's always putting these fights on edge a little bit, right? Getting knocked down, you know, making the fight close and everything like that. They need a definitive finish in this fight, right? We need to know. There should be no controversy at the end of this night. Someone's got to get their hand raised because it was a finish, in my opinion. I think it just puts more emphasis on, one, the rivalry, and two, who really is the better man. And if Usyk can get a finish and put the stamp on this like he did with the Joshua fight, you know, he can move on to the next. Who knows what's next? Maybe Daniel Dubois rematch there. But that's if he gets past Fury. He's got to get past Fury first. It's not going to be a walk in the park. Definitely not going to be a walk in the park for Usyk. You talk about the keys to victory for Usyk. Stay with the game plan that he went in there with the first fight. Stay with the same game plan, but just go for the finish. Look for the finish. I think there was a lot of times where he possibly could have finished, but didn't want to, you know, go too crazy and end up getting caught. You know, it's the heavyweight division, powerful guys, so you never want to, like, you know, make that mistake. But I think if he utilizes the body work, knowing that he's lower, he can get inside. He has that advantage being able to get inside. If he can get inside, work them shots. That left hand seems to be so accurate in there. It was there all night that last time they fought. All night last time they fought. So if Fury hasn't made the adjustments for that left hand, that's definitely going to be a problem. And Usyk could literally just spam that left hand all night if he wants to, because it was landing at will. So Fury's got to come with a game plan where he is defending better against that left hand, the left straight, the left hook, whatever the case may be. He has to just be a little bit more defensive, watching that specific side, because Usyk is so nasty. Now, like I said, Usyk makes adjustments. So I think Fury really needs to give him some different looks, right? One look the first round, the second round a different look, the third round a different look. Maybe the fourth round you keep the same look as the third round, or you go back to the first look. Like, you just got to continue to switch it up, right? Everything can't be the same. First round, maybe the first round is extremely aggressive. Maybe the second round is extremely slow paced on your end. Maybe the third round is you just working the jab, staying distant. You know, he's got to just switch it up. He can't go in there every single round trying to do the same thing of dodging and weaving and dodging and weaving and landing a couple jabs, you know, throwing the feints and everything like that. He can't just rely on doing that all throughout the fight. He's got to do more than that. So he has to switch it up round by round. And that's also something that's going to keep Usyk on his toes, right? We get to see, I always talk about the IQ of Usyk. Now we're going to even talk about it even more. If he can make the adjustments to each change that Fury is bringing each round, then there's nothing to argue with. He really does have some of the best IQ in all the fight game. Now, if you ask me who I want to win this fight, you know, I really don't have a dog in this fight. I've rooted for Tyson Fury a lot, and I like Alexander Usyk. There's really nothing to hate about the guy. He's quite the character. I mean, showing up to interviews in the Hitman costume, you know, and then he comes into these interviews, you know, stone cold. Like, he's just stone cold. He seems like a stone cold dude, ice in his veins whenever it's time for the moment, and then when it's not, he can smile and have a little bit of fun. So he's hard to dislike. But who I really want to win, I would like to see Fury get this done, right? So we can see a third fight between these two. Because there's a lot that can go on in the heavyweight division, but nothing is going to sell like this fight will. This is the biggest fight that you can continue to make. And even if Daniel Dubois gets another win and is making some chatter, or you got Zheli Zhang making some noise as well, I think this fight mainly is the one that people want to see and people care about in that division. And honestly, if we're talking about heavyweights, the sleeper is Martin Bakole. He's a sleeper. He's going to sneak up on people. That man's got nasty power. Nasty power. But not to change subject. Usyk and Fury, this second fight is interesting for another reason that I want to mention before I end this video. We have an AI judge that is kind of just, it's not an actual judge. Like, it's not judging the actual fight, but it is at the same time almost like a test run, you know, just seeing what the outcome would be, I guess, maybe in comparison to like what humans would be. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm really new to this. Everybody's going to be new to this. We're all new to this. I already got people under my reel trying to, you know, correct me on it. Bro, it's not like any of us know. None of us know. This is the first time AI has been introduced in anything in a judging realm. So stop acting like you know, because you don't. You mad backwards. So the AI judging thing could be interesting, because there was a lot of controversy with the last fight, and I think that's why this is being introduced now. But we'll see what happens. I think there's going to be a finish in this fight, though. No matter who ends up getting their hand raised, I think there's going to be a finish in this fight. And unfortunately, I see Tyson Fury being the one getting finished and not getting the finish. 2024 has been a crazy year. I've said that a few times in these podcasts. It's been an insane year for the fight game. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. My final prediction. You know me, I'm always going to throw those two predictions because, like, I'm too indecisive. Way too indecisive to give a final prediction, especially with boxing. Boxing throws me off all the time. I would say you're either going to get Usyk within 8, or Fury somehow getting the finish in, like, the 10th round, 11th round, something like that. Those are my predictions. But like, my actual prediction on who's going to win, I feel Usyk's going to come out with the W. So, that's it for this boxing episode. This isn't the only breakdown I'm doing, though, because we got another one that's coming up, start of 2025. I think it's the start of 2025. It might be sooner. Let me check. Benavidez versus Morel. So yeah, in January you got the Inoue fight, and then in February you got the big matchup between David Benavidez and David Morrell Jr. This is something. This is something. It's gonna be a good fight. I think it's February 1st. In a 175-pound fight. So I'm going to do a breakdown on that. I'm going to have to get a little in depth. I got to study up on that one. But I'll be back with a breakdown for that. Obviously, I'll be back with a review after this fight. We'll see what the outcome is. We'll see if I'm on point, if I'm anywhere close with my predictions. But like I said, I think Usyk's getting his hand raised at the end of the night. Overall, thank you for watching this video. You know what to do if you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification button so you know when the next episode is out. And I will catch you on the next episode. Your boy Bando is out. Peace. Stop.